Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the Jim Carrey Project. This is the project where we are watching all of Jim Carrey's movies in chronological order. I am your host, Brian Kondrach, and with me, as always, is...
Carrie Grant.
And there she is. Today, we literally just finished watching The Bad Batch. It is a 2016 movie directed by Anna Lily Amirpour, written by Anna Lily Amirpour.
Interesting.
And starring Suki Waterhouse, Jason Momoa, Giovanni Ribisi, Keanu Reeves. And Jim Carrey's thrown in there.
Was it starring any of those, really, besides Suki and Jason?
Yeah. There were very few and far between people of starring roles. There's
big
billed
names.
actors. They're very big names, but
they don't have,
Jim Carrey's thrown in there, fifth build, not really talked about.
Even
anyway,
Keanu's not very big. And Giovanni, definitely not.
Giovanni. So, what'd you think?
Oh,
gosh. Here's my page of notes. My page and a half.
I thought it was going to be like blank. My page is pretty blank.
No. So what'd you think? What's up?
I don't even know. I don't even understand what just happened in the last 2 hours.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Literally
I'm confused. I'm really confused about the whole thing a bit.
I paused the credits on the thing. And it's 1:54:08. And so there's 4 minutes and 29 seconds
basically
left.
2 hours.
So it's pretty much a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
Here's the gist of it. Dystopian future in the desert. Cannibals bad. Other city also bad. That's really... Who
are the good people?
There are no good people.
We don't know who the good people are.
There is no good guy.
People. Well, I guess theoretically... Whoever is in Texas is good, and the people who they determine are bad, they kick into the desert, into the Mexican desert, I think.
There's been no very clear definition of what the Bad Batch is, except that people are tattooed at the beginning of the movie with a BB and then a number. So the Bad Batch, they're thrown through a gate and you're in the desert. So I guess it's like a giant concentration camp, a giant prison camp, for whoever is deemed bad by whatever the United States might be at the time. We don't know when this takes place. We don't know where.
Say Texas,
it is like on the outskirts of Texas. You're leaving Texas. This is no longer Texas, whatever.
Or the United States.
So that could be, if it's a dystopian future, that could be anywhere on any side of Texas.
That's true.
The Midwest,
it could actually be the United States. You're true. I assumed it was Mexico because it was a gate
Spanish,
and a wall.
And then there's Spanish
and it's desert,
and language. And
I don't think it could be anywhere.
If it's a dystopian future, it's the second Dust Bowl. Maybe it's the Midwest,
okay,
so Oklahoma.
It can be anywhere outside of Texas.
But it's Mexico.
Okay. It could be anywhere outside of Texas. Okay.
But it's
Mexico.
I'm just messing with you.
It's probably
Mexico.
Or
can't say it
or
right
Arizona or something.
They can't say it outright, but it's probably Mexico.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. There seems like there was a lot that was happening in this movie, but there was also like nothing happening at all, right? So you're getting set up. You've got cannibals, which somehow have a soft spot for one or two people who are cannibals, or especially people that are bodybuilders.
They're all bodybuilders.
I guess
cannibals are bodybuilders.
It's the purest of all proteins is just to eat more humans.
And I guess jacked up. They need to be strong because they're fighting for their lives.
Right. And they're fighting for other humans. They like to tackle and eat other meeker humans.
Yeah. Okay,
what else are they going to do?
So let's just recap real fast. So theoretically, America or the U.S. is the good. Mm-hmm. They put everyone in the Bad Batch out. The Bad Batch has now divided into two groups.
Yeah. As far as we know.
Yeah. The cannibals and the ones who are not cannibals, but who looks like kind of raise bunnies to eat.
Yeah. They feel like...
And maybe other animals. And then, they had noodles.
Yeah, they have noodles and small varmints.
Yes.
And it was a world that had... plumbing, and it was a more civilized world. They had raves, they had dance parties, they had electricity, they had Keanu Reeves' character as the leader or the head of the group had a swimming pool, indoor swimming pool, marble floors. Like, it's not so far that it's a Mad Max dystopian future.
10 women pregnant.
Well, you're the leader of the city. Yes. What do? You've got that power. You keep the culture going.
Yeah.
And I'm just now putting two and two together that it's like, was Giovanni Ribisi's character an inbred child of Keanu Reeves, or was he just a drug-addled, like, psychotic kind of person?
He was a special needs person.
Yeah. And then you had Jason Momoa and Suki Waterhouse's characters that are somehow supposed to be in the middle ground of, like, these two groups, but we see
Suki get pushed off, so we see her from the very beginning of being in this dystopia, but... and
surviving how does she survive?
So early on she gets caught by the cannibals and loses her arm and her leg. They eat it. Yeah. And then she actually escapes. And let's just bring up Jim Carrey, because that's what our show is about.
Not yet.
No. Well, not yet. But except that she escapes with only one arm and one leg. And he is someone who pushes a cart out in the desert and doesn't speak. He rescues her and he brings her to Comfort, which is called, it's the place where they don't. Yeah, they're not cannibals.
They're skaters and they've got a civilized world.
Tired already.
There was I have so many notes and it's like...
Do you? I'm
just
tired.
It's a pretty intense start. Like, this feels like it's going to be a cool, like, weird-ass dystopian future, like, movie, but then it was just, like, dragged on for 2 hours.
Nothing happens.
Sexiest cannibals,
happen, but not
sexiest cannibals ever. All these meat-eating guys that are just, like, walking around in,
women
like,
too,
thongs
they're strong,
and everything.
Yeah.
I actually have a note. I have three different notes. 1736 to 1915. Is that it? Which is, that's when Jim Carrey shows up.
Oh, the time.
Saves her from dying and then disappears.
Yes.
Then I have 36, which is 36 minutes in. He's back! And he just wants a portrait done. And then
that part was actually funny.
1 hour and 21 minutes in, he comes in and then saves Jason Momoa. So he
saves people.
Jim Carrey's character is like people. Just the one that doesn't care what's happening, and he just goes and does things.
And we saw him catch a crow or a bird
and cook it and
eat it. So he's and he's out there. He's out there watching the birds circle and sees like what's happening, and that's how he finds people who he needs to help.
Who might need some sort of help.
Yeah,
and
so
stuff.
He's a good guy. He's definitely a good guy in it, but he doesn't speak.
Yeah,
and you don't even see his face some of the time.
Yeah.
The only funny part was when he meets Jason Momoa the first time and realizes that he does really good portraits.
Yeah.
And so Momoa's asking, "Have you seen my basically daughter?" Yeah. And then he like flips through the pages and gives it to him and then poses for a while.
For not
for like a couple minutes.
For like no dialogue. And like no real purpose to that scene.
Except
like
it's funny.
It was endearing. It wasn't that I wouldn't say it was just funny. I chuckled, but I think it was like a lot more endearing that it's like this is the only person that has any civility in this weird dystopian future.
Jim is?
Yeah. Like he is 100%.
Momoa must too though.
Momoa did. I mean, I guess he's doing what he has to do to survive.
He definitely cares about his daughter.
Yeah, that's the only other person that he really cares about.
But he does eat other people.
Yeah, until Suki Arlen or whatever her name is comes out.
Yeah.
It's just like, I have so many notes. It's like, this movie is so beautiful. Like, it really was a gorgeous movie, and like, but there's just so much that, like, I don't even know what to talk about at this point.
What part was beautiful? You love the desert. You love the desert scenery?
I love the desert. I love some of the cinematography and the lighting.
The lighting
like
was
the
good.
Firelight scenes.
A lot of the firelights.
And just like the areas were cool.
But you could do a lot. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's a different type of movie than we usually watch with Jim Carrey. Especially we just came off of Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yeah. Which was all Jim Carrey.
Exactly the opposite of this. So this is sort of like a Lost in Translation feel, except in the desert. Not much dialogue.
Yeah.
You just got to read people. So I get like there is a beautiful aspect to that because I really like Lost in Translation. I like that you feel the connection between people. So that's what you feel in this one. So I get that. It just feels a bit long.
I was just thinking this movie could be a 20-minute short film.
Yeah.
And you would get all of the information that you needed.
You would still get everything.
You would ultimately end up with probably the same amount of dialogue.
Totally.
In 20 minutes.
You could get exactly the same feeling.
Yeah.
You would not need like Giovanni Ribisi.
He doesn't do anything.
There's
to
no
create
point in
anything.
his character.
Yeah, and
he's a great actor and he's good.
Yeah,
but
we both said that. It's like, ooh, I think he's the guy from like Sneaky Pete. I think he was in like Ocean's 11. Like he's been in some fun stuff, and he's a fun actor. But it's like, ooh, I didn't know he was in this. It's like,
I mean,
it was pointless.
It was totally pointless. Like, you didn't need that character at all. You needed Suki, which, okay, so let's talk about Suki for a minute.
Well, I before we do that, we were on the topic of Jim Carrey and doing, like, the poses and stuff.
Okay.
And I think I had it. Give me a second. This even though we're used to Jim Carrey in these big comedy things and stuff, right? Like, I said that he is the most endearing of it, but like putting him into a position of this where he has no dialogue, I think he still got the most character development. Like, he portrayed the most interesting character of everyone in this movie, right? So
I don't disagree.
Like, Keanu Reeves, kind of, like, I thought, like, he was pretty one note. Momoa didn't say much. He was pretty one note. But, like, Jim Carrey cared about other people, and somehow that came across. And then somehow he came across as being this guy that's like, I live by myself in this desert, and so it's like, I just want to know what I look like, or like have a picture of myself. It's like, I think he still was the most powerful actor in this movie.
He exudes kindness without any reservation, and that is something that we don't get from anybody else, because nobody else in the whole film has that. Even Suki killed somebody. Yeah, she acted like she was good and she hates cannibals, but she still killed somebody.
Two people. She killed two people.
A lot of them are cannibals. Like, there's a child. You can't really gauge the child because it's a child. Like, even Keanu is like very, like, he's not a good guy. Yeah. There's really nobody who's a good person except for Jim Carrey. Yeah,
and it's like he was able to get that across. And I said it when they did it at one point. They did a kind of a close up on him. And I was like, it's the eyes. And it's like the same thing that we see in all of everything.
He did his watery eyes.
He did the watery eyes. So that's all there is for Jim Carrey in the Jim Carrey project of The Bad Batch.
He wasn't,
But let's talk about more shit.
Okay. So Suki, I think, was an interesting choice. I don't think she's been in a lot of things. But we also kind of said, well, maybe this is good for one of her first films for her. We think it's one of her first films. And that... there's not a lot of dialogue. Yeah. There's a lot of... I kept saying, they're looking away again. Yeah. Like, she's always looking away, and the wind's blowing her hair in her face, and she's just like... there's a moment. It's not a moment. It's a moment, but it's like, it happens so much. Yeah. It loses its depth.
The power and the depth. Yeah. We're like, this moment of being forlorn in the desert and alone. Yes. It's like, we get it. Yeah. You're in the desert alone. It's sparse, it's empty, and you're empty.
Yeah, and she's beautiful. And like, even you even said, like, she just lost her arm and a leg, and she'd wiped poop all over her body, and she's still like gorgeous. Yeah. And I'm like, like that's what you want in this character. You always want to like her, and you always want to root for her but she's beautiful, and she's kind of trying to do the right thing and stuff, but
she even doesn't know what the right thing is. No. And I pointed out at the very beginning.
She lost the kid because she got high. Yeah. I
didn't even think about that.
She wasn't being...
She was on acid, and the kid just disappeared. It was like, where's the kid? Where's the kid? Where's the kid? Like, all the like weird voiceover stuff, the high scene. Yeah, it was just like, there's so much just wasted time in this movie, and it's just like, we've been through two or three different movies where things just like drag on for longer than they really needed. Like Christmas Carol dragged on, but I was like, let's just get to the end of this. But there was no end to this.
No. Well, no. Do you understand what you think the ending is? What do you think the ending is?
That they're gonna go be by themselves in the desert and join Jim Carrey as the hermits or something.
I think they're making a third party. It's like a political system. Oh. There's the cannibals, there's this group, and they're like, neither of these people are good. Yeah. I'm not going back to the comfort. Yeah. I'm not going back to the cannibals. Yeah. Let's start our own third group who truly is where it's gonna be good people. Yeah. That's the impression I got.
Because Jason Momoa only killed one person, but she was basically just a piece of food to them at that point. Like, she or he? The Asian...
he killed the guy in the desert too, but he was trying to take...
Oh, yeah, the guy in the desert that was the barter guy was like,
So he's killed people and eaten people, but he doesn't like it.
Yeah, I don't think he's on board with it.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to go with this one. My question: how did this get made? Like, if this is a movie that podcast has ever reviewed,
how does this get made?
Yeah, they go into it. I mean,
I didn't get so many big names to sign on.
It doesn't make any sense, except what I was reading about Anna Lily Amirpour or whatever. Her first movie was A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, which was the first Iranian vampire spaghetti western, with elements of film noir and the restraint of Iranian new wave cinema. What is that? Like, obviously it was big enough that Jim Carrey knew who she was and what it was, that when he signed on for this, he was supposed to play a different character, but then she talked to him on the...
Who was the producer? Like, she got funding from somebody, because there's huge names.
Produced by Megan Ellison, Danny Gabai Sinsaya.
But, I mean, who was the...
The company?
Yeah.
See, I don't... It's... Anumapura Pictures. Yeah.
So, maybe she's a rich Iranian.
Maybe.
Maybe she has her own funding.
Vice Films banner.
Oh, you've never heard of Vice Films.
Yeah, in 2015, Keanu, Jim Carrey, Jason Momoa, Suki, and Diego Luna, all...
Maybe she has her own funding.
Came all joint. Who's Diego Luna? Is that the director? No, she directed it.
Yeah.
Who the hell is Diego Luna, and why is he being on here important?
I don't know.
I'm so confused. I don't know.
It's definitely not one of the main movies.
No.
It fits with everything else we've done.
I really kept thinking that it was going to be like a Mad Max dystopian kind of thing, where there was going to be a war that broke out or something, like some sort of violence. Like, there was, like, Mad Max is a great dystopian, terrible, like, future movie, because it's like you got action of car chases, explosions, and like blood and water being sprayed all over the desert.
Boy movie,
and it's like it's raw and it's powerful. Whereas like this is the dystopian, like boring ass just wander back and forth between the desert. Like she got lost outside of comfort, and yet you're in a desert that you just walked out of this place. How far can you get from this place that you get lost in a desert and can't just turn around and go back?
Acid.
You still can't walk that far in a night.
I don't know.
She's has one leg and one arm, and she still made it far enough from the settlement that, like, if she found a hill or like jumped, she could see where she had come from.
I mean,
it's going to be a short episode.
It is. It was a weird movie. It was a weird. Jim Carrey. I mean, he had a different role. Good for him, but like. There was even his different role is not. There was no stretch for him in this. There's nothing he did in this that he hadn't done in some respect, in some way, in several other films.
He really just like lives in the moment.
I don't know why he did this, unless he just got paid a lot of money or he was in a weird spot in his life. So I just don't understand him. But, I mean, I kind of understand why Suki would do it. And even Jason, I think, at the time was still kind of up and coming. So I kind of see why they would sign on if they got enough money. I don't understand why Jim or Keanu or even Ribisi would do this.
I swear that it had to have been just what they thought that she did with The Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. Which...
Why do you think... I mean...
If I go to that, like...
You really think they watched that and said, she's so good, I have to be in her movie?
I don't know.
I think they got paid plenty of money to do this.
The reception was 90.
Because none of those roles are big. None of those roles are important enough, or none of those roles challenged any of those three, who are all great actors. They were not challenged in this movie, so there's no reason except to get paid.
And I was going to go into that, because I haven't talked about the budget. I was going to try and say that, but looking at just like the Wikipedia reception of this one, or of Anna Lily Amirpour's vampire thingy, it received a 96 certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, something people were calling as brilliantly original, a striking calling card for this writer-director. So, like, whoever watched it or is in that world of these film festival things, I will watch it. I'm curious to see what it's like now. But it was a very low-budget film, but it just happened to, like, hit all the right notes. And so these actors and actresses in Hollywood that are, like, into the film festival scene and, like, what's new, what's unique, obviously were interested in being a part of it, maybe thinking that it would be this next other new genre-changing thing. Because... you keep saying that they had to be paid so much. The budget for this movie was $6 million.
Okay, but that doesn't mean that they each got. They're like, okay, well, you get 20%, you get 20%, you get 20%. You don't know what they get is in the return part because there's no way they each only took $1 million for the show.
For
and
they
still had to film all that.
For build on this.
No way. There's some money going under some kind of
well, and it could have
Caribbean bank account that is paying all these people that is making this movie. I'm not saying it's terrible. It's not a terrible movie.
No,
it does not. It does not match to have this cast, and I'm sure her first movie was good. It probably only had, 3 pages of dialogue as well. And everyone's like, oh, they're brilliant because there's no dialogue. It's all just moments.
Yeah. So I guess it was released at the Venice Film Festival in 2016, and then Netflix.
I'm writing a movie with no dialogue.
Yeah, I know. We can do that.
I can do that.
I think we talked about that earlier.
But before watching this, I said I want to make a movie with no dialogue.
No dialogue. So Netflix picked this up and released it. Then it was changed, and then it was in the Toronto Film Festival, and then it was limited release in 2017, and then available on Amazon and iTunes in 2017, and then released on DVD. So it's never gone to box office. It's all just digital, and it's all just straight to Netflix, straight to Amazon. So obviously, you're not going to make your money back on this unless there's some deal with Netflix and Amazon that. All of these actors,
an Iranian.
They don't need to worry about making the budget. I'm curious what kind of other budgets were.
I mean, if she's not, I apologize. Yeah. But that's my guess. Is that there's some family money that.
Oil and gas money, family money, something like that. What a strange
And then she's not untalented.
No.
As a writer or a director.
Right.
I'm not saying any of that. I think it was a decent film. I'm sure other film was decent. I just don't get how this was not just a film festival film with people you don't know.
Yeah. No, it doesn't make any sense. A film festival film
like this with people, maybe Suki, but anyone else, you could find good actors and it would still have the same effect.
Yeah.
That's what I don't get is why the rest of those people are in it.
And I guess I think that it just stems from that. Her other one, The Girl Walks Home Alone at Night, which is we'll work with her. That sounds real cool and interesting.
Okay.
I'm
probably just being
we're being
not very nice person.
We're being real cynical.
I am being very cynical. But, it just wasn't up to our... Dumb and Dumber 2 wasn't up to my expectations either, but this was not...
Which was better? Which of those two movies was better?
So different.
They are very different, but what would you rather spend the next... This is almost 2 freaking hours. Dumb and Dumber was at least an hour and a half.
And there's some clever dialogue.
Yeah.
Someone put some work into some dialogue.
Yeah.
There was only moments of looking at each other. There was one of the lines that Keanu was up and he was like, "We are not bad people. We are good people." Yeah. And that was the line. And I was like, that's it?
Yeah, no, I have that.
My 10-year-old can write that.
I have that exact quote. We ain't good. We're bad. Or
whatever. Whatever it is. But
we're living the dream. They put us out here because we're the bad batch because they think we're bad. But we're good. But we ain't good. I don't even freaking know.
It was terrible. None of the dialogue in here. There was not any cleverness in anything in that. Yeah. It was all moments. And I appreciate moments of connection and tears or teary eyes or looking for your daughter and feeling sad. I get it all. I like that part. Yeah. It doesn't make a whole
doesn't go anywhere. No. Okay. I really think, and there's another review on in the research that I was doing that it's I wanted to keep watching it because I felt like something was going to happen at any moment. And it's even though it wasn't happening, I was just okay, there's got to be something. There's got to be the explosion, or she shoots Keanu in the face, and the pregnant women all attack her, and there's this sexy pregnant girl versus Suki in the indoor swimming pool fight scene. That's not sexy at all.
That's what you were planning on?
No, that's not what I was planning on, but it would have made the movie more interesting. But it's just something. I feel like Giovanni Ribisi's character, had some
there was nothing there
to go against Keanu Reeves for some reason. But he was just a crazy ass loony guy walking around. Yeah. Like this, I said it to you while we were watching it. It's like I feel like I could walk down Skid Row in Los Angeles and see this exact thing play out in front of me.
I'd be more interested.
And,
I've seen some in LA. I've seen some pretty interesting.
There's some scary stuff.
Homeless people
going on over there.
Interactions.
That's really what it felt like. This movie felt like that. But I kept wanting something more to happen, so I didn't want to turn it off. I didn't feel like we could turn it off because
it's totally off topic. But I want to tell you a home. It's not funny, but I was surfing once, like in LA, on the beach, and there was a homeless fight on the edge of a cliff. And the one guy had the other guy and was gonna drop him off and we were all like, we're in the water, like, too far away to do anything. And
hey, don't drop him.
We were just like, like what? Because we saw them scuffling, and then we saw that, and we were like, oh my god, he's gonna drop. And I was like, what do we do? And we heard other people watching too. Like, what do we do? Like, there was nothing any of us could do. In the end, he didn't do anything, but like that would have been a little more interesting than this movie.
At least there was probably some really clear, like, what is it? Not perspectives. Really clear, like. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it.
It was real drama.
Yeah, real dramatic, real moments. Like,
there was real stakes.
You stole my shopping cart.
There was true stakes in that one. There was life or death.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And I don't know what they were fighting about, but it was important.
It could have been enough to drop somebody off a cliff. Like that would have made this movie so much more.
I mean, there was some shooting and killing, but they just did it because they could. It was just,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
What a terrible, terrible dystopian future.
Yeah.
Anything else here?
No, I don't want to watch anything like this anytime soon again.
No, we'll see.
Give me some comedy.
We'll see. The next one we're watching is kind of another drama, but I don't think
we can't have many left.
No, this is actually our second to last movie. So the next movie that we actually watch is Dark Crimes, which I don't know. I haven't seen that, so I can't tell you. I can't say much about it. Okay.
I'm gonna rate this. I know you're about to ask, so I'm gonna rate this.
If you wanted to be the one to wrap it up. Also, this came out 2 years after Dumb and Dumber, and then this and the next movie, Dark Crimes.
At least he's the cover.
It's a detective drama.
At least he will have a line in that one.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd say 3, if that. It was really not good to me.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna take it 5.
You give it a 5?
I just was annoyed because it was too long, and but condensed and a little bit change. It's a good concept.
This would have been a 10 if it were a 30-minute movie.
Yeah.
If it was like a dystopian cannibals 30-minute movie.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Like that was a cool little feature. Did it have to be 2 hours? Nope.
Did you need Jim Carrey? Did you need Keanu Reeves?
Nope. You could have
been great without them.
Could have put anybody in this movie and you probably would have gotten the same kind of
a good actor, but not as well known.
Right. Yeah. You would have gotten the same exact kind of performances.
Okay, 5. You go.
I'll give it a 3.
Okay,
it was too freaking long. I loved Jim Carrey in it, and I couldn't turn it off because I didn't know where it was going to go. But I'm very disappointed that I wasted the last 2 hours of my day watching this thing. Luckily, I had company that I enjoy watching these movies with,
and we had some champagne.
If I had been,
we watched the first few minutes, and I was like, he was like, "Do you want to drink?" I'm like, "No,
pop that champ."
I'm like, "Yeah, let's open something up for this one." I think because I need to enjoy it a little bit more, and it probably did help. So
I love that looking at the credits. There's Russian Dream Girl, 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 TV Kid. Like. The hell? Oh, Muscle Woman 1 and 2.
It's a lot of pregnant dream girls.
Yeah, I mean the cast is tiny.
Yeah.
I feel like you would have got anyone who wasn't one of the bigger names would have gotten like $50 to be an extra or a day player in this one. How one-legged dancing girl.
They definitely hired some bodybuilders.
Yeah, those guys are needing money anyway. All right, well that's it for the Bad Batch. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Jim Carrey Project with me, Brian Kondrach, and please check out some of our other stuff. Watch our other videos. We're coming to the end of this entire series, and it has been a lot of fun and very interesting to say the least.
A lot of different stuff.
We have one more feature film that we're going to watch. That is Dark Crimes, which we will be watching next time. However, I think we're going to watch Jim and Andy, which is the documentary about the whole Man on the Moon movie.
And now he has a show.
And then we have the Showtime show, Kidding, which we haven't quite decided what we're going to do with that one yet.
But we should watch something.
We're going to watch a little bit. But please check out our other stuff. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, like our stuff, subscribe to our stuff. Go back and watch it from the beginning a couple times until you get back to this point, and then we'll see what it is.
Good luck with that. Thank you.
So thank you guys for watching. Be good to each other. But not be the bad. Be good, but not the bad. I don't. Stupid. There's no good quotable dialogue. I can't even shrub club.
There's only like one line. So.
I know.
Be good, not bad.
Yeah, be good, not bad.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.